Hello, and welcome to Cosmic Readings and Messages. And this is an update for world events. I guess I can't really use the pandemic anymore. That seems to be something of the past, although some people are still trying to hang on to it. Um, Update September 14th, 2022. I was compelled to do this and do an update after over a year. And I do have the messages from your angels cards here. And I guess the first thing I need to do is address why no updates in over a year. Well, since the last update last year, I'd have to go back and watch it again, but some of those messages, some of those readings and things that I did last year, and before that, the year before, were getting kind of intense, and I alluded to that in some of the readings that I did, some of the messages that I conveyed, that things were getting kind of intense at times, and I basically had to back off. And I after that last one, things were getting very intense, and of course, it was getting into the realm of politics here in the United States, and also globally, and things that were happening. But yeah, I needed to do what I uh, see. It's overwhelming when I think back, because I had to step away from everything and actually ask the spirits, the angels, the other side, to lay low for a while. Give me some breathing space, because I had work to do. I had other things that I needed to do, and things were getting very, very intense. And so it just turned out, and my intention was that I would do another reading. I would do an update, and weeks, days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and here we are, well over a year later. What was that? March last year, and here it is, September this year. And yes, I have to thank the spirits, angels, the whole other side that I'm in contact with. They followed my wishes, and that's what's nice about it, is they don't bother me. If I can't really use the word bother, but if I ask them to lay low for a while and just let me get myself back in order, because it is overwhelming sometimes, they do, and I appreciate that. But dreams still come, and messages still come through, and I do get little tidbits, and things do happen. And after a couple of weeks ago, I actually was laying in bed, and I just called to the spirits and angels to give me some insights. What is going on? Because the world is still not in a good place, as we all know. Things are weird, to say the least, and I needed some insight, because it seemed like things were happening according to plan. Things were happening that they were giving me insights to. And of course, in the past over a year, we have found out so many things that were covered up or lied about. Global corruption. A lot of it here in the United States, but also globally. People being investigated, people being raided. I won't get into all that, because I actually do want to get right to the cards, and I want to see what the spirits and angels have to say. But there's a lot of things going on that a lot of people are questioning, whether you agree or disagree with the some of the things that have happened more recently in the past several weeks and months here in the U.S. in particular. Um, there are questions that are being raised, and I mentioned that if I'm trying to remember, because I do have to go back and listen to the last recording that I posted, but there was a lot of questions even then last year, and there's more questions now. And of course, here in the United States, we are coming up on midterm elections, and it seems like a lot of things that happened the last election, which was the presidential election, but this is only midterm. So here in the U.S., we are not voting in or out a president. This is basically the what we call the midterms, where the House, the Senate, and local and state elections are taking place. They happen every year, but in the middle of each presidential term, it's called the midterms, and basically what can happen is parties that are in control of different branches of government, the House and the Senate in particular, can change, or new people can be brought in even if they're with the same party. So and some get voted out, some get voted in, or they get reelected, that kind of stuff. It's not all of them, and it's a kind of an interesting way how it's done here in the U.S. because we have 50 states, which unfortunately a lot of people don't know these days. Doesn't make sense, but in any case, that's what's happening, and there still continue to be questions about the current president, Joe Biden, here in the U.S., and there's questions about some of the other leaders around the world. And of course, in the past year, we now have a war going on in the Ukraine, and the U.S. is gotten their nose into that. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, but there's a lot of things happening here in the U.S. That need to be taken care of, and legitimately need to be taken care of. And we've gotten ourselves involved with this overseas war. And of course, there's global turmoil. We've got, the war in Ukraine is with Russia. Russia invaded. And there's indications that China will be trying to take over, or they're calling it, bringing it back into the realm of China. Taiwan, I'm talking about. So, in any case, I just wanted to pull out the cards because I've been getting some dreams lately. There's still a lot of bizarre things happening behind the scenes. So I don't want this message to go on too long. I see it's already 8 minutes, so I haven't even gotten to a card. So I just wanted to sort of clear that up, why there hasn't been a message or a recording since last year. And I don't know when the next one will be. So this is being recorded early in the morning on the 14th of September, 2022. It's after midnight, so it's really early in the morning here where I am in the U.S. And so I just wanted to do this reading and just see and ask the spirits and angels to come through. I don't intend for this to be too long, but that could be my famous last words, because sometimes these do go on kind of long. But we will see what happens. So I'm shuffling the cards in my unique way that's not not the best at shuffling. I sort of mix them up and group them together, and they are getting shuffled. It's just not as fancy as some people do online, so I'm just not a big shuffler. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with my fingers, or I don't know, But anyway, so I'm going to go through the cards, and just spirits, angels, holy spirits and angels, those who watch over me, watch over the planet Earth, everybody who's watching, please come forward. What general message do you have for everybody who's watching? And I'm just going to go through these cards and just make one jump, make one fly out, fall on the floor, do something like that. So what is the general message you have for everybody out there? And one just fell on my lap. Okay. Let's see what this card is. So the Adriana card came out. There it is. And this is one of those cards I like. And honestly, I haven't gone through these cards in several weeks. I've done some readings for friends that know that I can do this. And I have consulted them for myself, but not for the world. And I think this is a really good one because this Adriana card says, I am leading you, and I'm in subdued light here, which usually happens when I'm doing these things late in the middle of the night. So I have to change my lighting here, or I need a magnifier so I can actually see these things a little bit better in my subdued light. I hope it looks pretty good on the camera. So it says, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I am communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. So this is the message from the spirits and angels to all of you, to the world, everybody who's watching, which is a very, very nice message. I like this one. It's very positive. The spirits and angels are basically, I know I'm sort of humming and hawing here. I'm waiting to see if I get like another message from them and what kind of words they may come through my mouth. And what's this a meaning for the world? And what I'm picking up is it's because it says, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Now, of course, there's a lot of people in the world that don't pray. They have no belief, but they do wish for things, or they would like things to happen. So this is including everybody. It doesn't matter if you're religious or not, or anything, because this is coming through an energy that's all around us. It's the universe, and we're all part of it. So watch some of my previous videos or the early ones to hear how I deal with all this, because I'm a skeptic. I'm science-based. I need evidence. I need proof. But because of my own personal connections with the other side, that's why I'm doing this. So there's definitely something there, and it makes total sense to me because, the dreams, and it's a combination of things that have led me down this path. But in any case, so what I'm getting here is this. What they're telling us is, and it's always more than just the words on the card. The spirits, angels, the other side, they're leading us to where we need to be, because there are literally millions, I guess what do we have, billions of people on the planet, and the spirits and angels always want to get us to a better place. They're trying to help us. Of course, we have our free will, which gets us into more trouble than good sometimes, but they're trying to help us, and that's what this card is saying. They're leading us to our prayers, and they're gonna help us make it happen. And I have to believe that, even with things that are happening now in the world. People that are thinking of goodness and want things to improve, we are going to get there. And this message has come through so many times. I can remember all the readings I did last year and the year before, 2019, 2020, 2021. They're always there. They're always trying to help us. They're trying to lead us to where we really want to be, which is in a good place. There's more people and more souls in this world and beyond, on the other side, that are trying to get us to that better place than there are evil, negative forces. And they are there, but that's the minority. There's more good than there is bad, and that's a good thing, obviously. So what is the spirits and angels? I'm going to go back to these cards. What is the follow-up to that message? You want to get us to this good place. and you're leading us to that good place that our thoughts, our dreams, our prayers want us to get to. So what other message do you have for the world? Oops, and the card just flipped over. Now this is an interesting one. Came out. Let me just focus on this one because the Yvonne angel card came out. Now this would normally be toward just like one person. The Yvonne card, which is this one, has to do with animals. And it's, you have a special bond with animals. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. So I'm asking a question about the world. What is the follow-up message to this? And what I'm immediately picking up with this, because this has to do with pets and animals, because to me, all of these things are connected. And if you look at the colors, we have like this this light blue-green on the one card. It's like a pastel color. And this pinkish color is also kind of like a pastel color, especially the way it's coming through on the video as I'm looking at the recording here as it's happening. So they're linked together, and it's almost like a yin yang yang, whatever you want to call it, or man and woman. It's almost like a balance between this and this. So there's like a balance that's coming through. They're leading us to the answers to our prayers. But also, this is for everything, not just people. This is for all the animals. So what I'm picking up is, it's not necessarily like it's about your pet or your animal. This is about all the animals of the world. You know, because what we do, what happens with us, because we are the species on the planet that controls a lot of things, including the environment, including what happens to animals. We're being led to that better place, and it's not just going to be good for us. It's going to be good for even the animals. And this says here, you know, your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. So they're basically telling us, because this is for the world. This is not for one person. This is not about one person. This is about all of us. So our pets on earth and in heaven are being watched over by angels. The pets of the world, which is all of the animals, are being watched over. So it's a connection between these two cards. That's what I'm getting. They are connected. I'm compelled to ask this next question, and when I'm compelled to ask another question, because I was going to stop here and ask something else, it means that they want something else to come through. So I'm going to shuffle the angel cards again, because we do have a story going on here, and it's piecing things together. So spirits and angels, you're leading us to where we need to be. You're trying to get us to that good place. It's not just for us, it's for all the animals on the planet too, which includes insects and arachnids and the ocean, fishes. It's everything. You want to get us to this better place and a better world for all of us. And what is your follow-up message to this? Do you have any message to how we are going to get there? Any advice? Not a message for the people of Earth, our planet, all of us on this side, but do you have advice for us? Because there is still a lot of negativity and bad things happening in the world, and people are suffering, and the animals are suffering as a result too in many parts of the world. So what is the advice that you spirits and angels have? So I'm going through the cards and nothing is popping forward. Oh, okay. So something just came through, and it's the Indriel card. This card here. Now the picture is actually jumping out at me here, because it's almost like an angel coming from outer space, coming from like a distant galaxy. So it's almost like a message coming from the universe. And it says, You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. Now, again, this is not a message to me. This is a message to the world. And this is a message to all of you that are watching. So basically what they're saying is we are all, this is our advice, we are all light workers. God or the universe, all that is, needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. They're telling us, and this makes total sense now, we have to make this change. We have to stop fighting. We have to stop spreading negativity. We have to stop, whether, we realize it or not, we need to stop making fun of people, labeling people, being negative toward people that maybe disagree with us. Because even good people sometimes make mistakes like that. And, there's a lot of labeling and a lot of hate and a lot of going after people by people who proclaim themselves to be righteous. I mean, we see this happening all over the world. There's a lot of it happening here in the U.S. There are a lot of people who are, in the name of being righteous, are sticking their nose up in the air and acting like they know it all. And they're just labeling people and putting them in little boxes and proclaiming that they are some type of enemy. When actually, instead of doing that, we should all be, everybody who's good and pure of heart and is not evil, should be light workers and trying to get rid of the real evil in the world, the real problems in the world. Because that's the angels, the spirits and angels are trying to do that, trying to make the world better for all of us and the animals, all the creatures of the earth. We have to be the solution for ourselves. And again, I mentioned it earlier just a few minutes ago. It has to do with, we have free will. So they can guide us. But we have to take them up on their guidance. And again, this is part of that guidance. They're telling us we are the light workers. There's a booklet that comes with these cards, and I'm going to go to the Indriel card just to see what the extended message is, because I'm getting compelled to read the rest of the message, the extended part. And it says, okay, so after the main message there, you're a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. It says, yes, you are a light worker. So that means all of us who are watching this video, all the people who are pure of heart and have a belief or not, but are pure of heart and want good things to happen. It says we are all light workers. As such, you have always had a burning desire to make the world a better place. See, it's right here. It's following on the exact same message. No wonder they wanted me to read this. It is a deep calling that is beyond time and space. I mean, there it is. It's right in the picture. This is what I was just talking about. You are often called into service during ordinary circumstances, such as when you're shopping for groceries and someone needs your help. Right now, your life's mission is expanding so that you can reach out to even more people. This will require you to make some life changes that you will learn about through your inner guidance. And again, the inner guidance is being led by the spirits and angels. The first card. I mean, you talk about a story being put together. I love it when they do this. And they know that I'm doing this recording for the first time in over a year. And they just want to make it positive. I'm getting this really good vibe here. It says, you are deeply sensitive to others' emotions, and it is important for you to clear yourself regularly, especially after helping someone. You can call upon Archangel Michael, which if you watch some of my other videos, Archangel Michael watches over me, and he has made lots of appearances in previous videos. Anyway, it says your other guardian angels and me to clear you of toxins or cords that may have resulted from your helpful efforts. Okay. See, I'm in subdued light over here, so I can't see too well. You are an earth angel. So, see, that's what they're telling us. We are all connected. We are earth angels. Everybody who's watching, and actually everybody who's not watching, is also an earth angel. So, and I'm not talking about a song. So, so we all have this capability of doing this. And it says, and we are happy to assist you in all ways. Just ask. So again, they're there. The angels, the spirits, the Holy Spirits, the guardian angels, they are all there to help us. And this is just reinforcing that first card, the very first one. Wow. Amazing. Okay. I'll put these cards aside, and I'm just going to flip the deck over to see what card was on the bottom of the deck after I did this last shuffle, because sometimes I just get compelled to see what card it's like an additional message or a piece of information. And when I flip the deck over, the card that's on the bottom of the deck is the Teresa card, or Teresa card, which is time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. So this is following those three cards that I just put out there. And it did say that we need to ground ourselves when we help others or we do something good. It may take us out of our comfort zone when we're trying to make the world better and stop negative things that are happening. We have to remember to take care of ourselves. So that's just a very good additional message to throw out there, because we should all do that. So, I was compelled to flip the deck over, and there it was. Now I see we're running up on a half hour into this video, so I'm not going to make this long. Famous last words, but I'm not going to go on too much longer. But since the video that I did last year, over a year ago, and before that, I was also getting messages about former President Trump and current President Joe Biden and other world leaders. We just lost Queen Elizabeth II. A world leader. She's the Queen of England, but not really like the head of government. It was more of a figurehead type position, and it's more of a cultural thing with our friends in the UK, England. It was just somebody to look up to and be like the moral compass of the nation. And, a lot of people follow royalty. There's a lot of people who don't like it, But again, the royal family doesn't really control government. They just make statements, and they act as like figureheads, and they do a lot of good things. There are people who believe that, the monarchy is also a bad thing. But if things are being done correctly, if somebody like Queen Elizabeth, who lived to be very old, and spent most of her life, over 70 years it was, as queen. That was her life basically, and she always seemed to be very reserved, but she had a wit. She did have a sense of humor. And she was a beacon of light for many people. And I'm in the U.S., so I'm not in England. I don't really follow the royal family and everything. But from what I understand, is she never wavered from her own beliefs and her own moral compass. Like, she didn't flip flop when she made statements. She didn't change her mind all the time like a lot of politicians do. She just was the queen, and she did the things that she was supposed to do, and people looked up to her. And it seems like she didn't really make waves or tick anybody off, personally. Like she didn't go after people or anything like that. She was, quite a, as they say, a lady. And so you have to look up to somebody like that. And it was also sad because earlier in the year her husband passed away. And it's already been said that even though she was very old, she was in relatively good health. She was getting, she had some ailments and stuff, but some have already suggested that, she passed away from a broken heart because she lost her husband earlier this year. And that could be very, very well the case. We see this a lot, with older folks when they lose their spouse. They sort of begin to decline rather quickly, and they follow not that far behind. So, that may have been the case. But let's get back to the cards, because I don't want to get too much into politics and stuff here. But I am going to ask the spirits and angels, because we still do have this like rivalry with the parties here in the U.S. And we do have the former president being targeted. I mean, doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree, the former president has been targeted by the current administration, and the judicial, not the judicial, but the branches of government that have to do with like the FBI and I guess it is the judicial system. Try to say that fast 5 times, right? And so, do the spirits and angels have a message they would like to convey to us regarding former President Trump? And then I'm going to ask about the current President, Joe Biden. Is there something we need to know about former President Trump? And a card just flipped out here. So I don't know if this is a card that's specifically for him that they're sharing with us, or something we need to think of. But let me just read it. The Patience card has popped. So let me just see what vibe I'm getting off this card. It says, now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. So let me think about this for a minute. What spirits and angels, give me more information about this. So, here in the U.S., it's already been suggested that former President Trump may actually run again in 2024. Whether he does or doesn't, we'll have to wait and see. But there's a lot of people saying he will and want him to. There's quite a few people that are actively trying to make sure that never happens. Again, there's definitely a political some people call it a witch hunt, but it is kind of. One party is doing everything in their power to prevent Donald Trump from running again. But at the same time, the same party is also trying to move away from the current president, Joe Biden, and try to find somebody to replace him. No one's actually really... Well, there's a few people coming out now actually saying it, but... anybody who's being extra cautious is saying, well, he has the right to run again, or he can run again if he wants to. He has every right to. Well, yeah, but would you like him to? Because he's made a lot of issues that are rubbing people the wrong way. But at the same time, they don't want Donald Trump to run again. And there's nothing that can actually prevent the former president from running again. There's people that have suggested that he can't run again, for another term after he's already been a president for one term. It has to be consecutive terms because we have a 2-term limit. That's not actually true. The president can run again. He couldn't run again after it because then he would have, if say Donald Trump runs again and wins, he could be president again for another term, but that would be the 2 terms. He was president for 1 term, and then he's president for another term. So he couldn't piggyback and run for a second term the second time, because there is the rule about that here in the U.S. So there's some people that are suggesting that, like, oh, well, he could actually run for a 3rd term because it would be 2 consecutive terms the second time. No, that's not true. And same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden can run again, and if he were to win in 2024, then that would be his 2nd term. He could not ever run again after that. So there's that whole thing going on. But anyway, what I'm getting with this card, Patience, I'm getting that this is a card actually directed toward Donald Trump, that the spirits and angels are sharing with us that he needs to be patient. And sometimes this card, like just the name Patience, is the buzzword on this particular card. And, he's trying to say that they're coming after him, and which they are. There's no question about that. This administration is going after him to try to prevent him from ever running for any office ever again. So he has come out and he has said a lot of things that may have been said too soon or without really thinking, and that's just the kind of person Donald Trump is. He tends to just say things without thinking sometimes. He just says what's on his mind, and that's to his own detriment. But that also makes him a real person because he's not being overly cautious all the time. Sometimes you do need to be cautious when you speak, especially someone in his position, and especially because he has a lot of people that are like hanging on his every word. But the angels are basically saying that he needs to be patient and learn from what's going on. And he needs to, if he's going to run again, he needs to get the plan together and actually be thoughtful about it. Or if someone else is going to run, I mean, obviously the party then would either not support him or support him, but if not, somebody else would be running under that party's banner, the Republican Party. Whoever that other person is might want to piggyback on some of the ideas that Trump had to gain votes. It would just make total sense. It would be stupid not to. And again, he has to be patient. He would have to talk to that person, whoever it is, and give them a positive message to run on, and then support that person. So that's the kind of message I'm getting here. I'm not getting a clear-cut message of what he should do. It's more of just being extra cautious and being patient and learning from maybe past mistakes that were made. Okay, so now I have to ask the spirits and angels the same question for President Joe Biden. Do you have a message that we can all see that gives us some insight as to what's going on with President Joe Biden from the angel messages cards here? So let me shuffle these up and go through them. So make a card pop out, fly on the floor, do something like that. What are you going to throw out at me that represents the message about or for Joe Biden, the current president of the U.S.? Oh, okay. Card just flipped over and landed here. So this message is the Oceana card. Okay. And this card says, take action. You're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So what I'm getting here is, and again, I don't want to get too political, but There are questions about what Joe Biden is doing. There's even questions whether he's actually making decisions himself, or is there someone else behind the scenes, or a group of people behind the scenes that are actually making decisions, because it seems like he's saying things that are pre-written, pre-planned. Um, Even the message he wrote in the condolence book to the family of the Queen of England, when he went to the embassy and wrote in the book, he actually had a cheat note. And people have been seeing this a lot. Like, he always has a little card telling him what to do. And what I'm getting here is, and it doesn't matter what you feel about Joe Biden, this card is giving us a clue that the spirits and angels would actually like him to take action himself. That's what I'm picking up here. And if you look at the card, it's like almost like a diver that's swimming upwards, and it's the Oceania card. But also, it's like in the sky, there's auroras. This is like upper atmospheric stuff. He needs to raise himself and speak for himself. It says, you're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. It seems to me like the spirits and angels are basically saying he needs to tell some people who are basically feeding him lines or writing the scripts to back off and let him speak for himself. He needs to lovingly assert himself. Now, some people who watch this may say he can't. There's that camp that says he can't because his mind is not all there. And there are indications that he is suffering mental decline. But at the same time, he's still a person. He's still a soul. He's still part of the collective here on the planet. He's got a lot of people following him. He is the leader to many people. So it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree with him. And he needs to get his own message out, not what somebody is writing for him. And maybe we will see that, because sometimes these are prophetic. Sometimes the spirits and angels give me messages like this, and they're basically they're letting all of us know that are listening and paying attention. They're letting us know that this is what's going on in the background. And he may be getting frustrated behind the scenes. We don't know this, but he may be getting frustrated and he wants to speak for himself. And there may be a point in time, maybe sometime soon or later, that he will go off script and maybe he'll make some more sense, because he is suffering some type of mental decline. But his truth may come forward, and it may disagree with whoever else is basically creating the script. So that's what I'm picking up here. So, it could be good, it could be bad, it doesn't matter, but that's what I'm getting here, that the spirits and angels want him to speak for himself. Let him be himself. The truth has to come from him. And it could be good, it could be bad, but it doesn't matter. The spirits and angels are basically saying that he needs to lovingly assert himself and trust his gut and just come out and be who he is, and not what somebody else or a group of people want him to be. Because there is that camp of thought, and it seems like that's what that message is. So I'm going to wrap this up, because we're going on 45 minutes, and I did not want this to go on this long, because at this point I'm actually getting tired because it's the middle of the night. But I wanted to do this update to the readings and messages. Spirits, angels, universe. I'm not going to go to any other cards. I'm going to put all of these cards back in, the ones that have already come through, just in case they need to be repeated. But is there a message to the world from the spirits and angels, from you spirits and angels on the other side? Is there a message from all of you to all of us here on the planet. Good, bad, indifferent, positive, negative leaders, people on the streets, people in their homes. What message, not guidance, but what message do you have for all of us here on planet Earth? All the beings that are part of the collective consciousness on our planet. So what card do you have for all of us? Is there an archangel who's watching over us? Is there a message for all of us? Guidance for all of us? Any? Okay, a card just flipped. And okay. So here's the card that flipped out and landed on my lap. It's the Mystique card. And I like this card too. And this is a good message to end off with. Keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. What a way to end off this reading. And of course, I'm being compelled to look at the bottom of the deck, but I'm not going to do that yet. So, keep charging ahead. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. So I've gotten this message before, either this card or in other readings, that they're trying to lead us to this better place. They're trying to get it all together for us, and we are all light workers, from the other card. And basically they're saying here is we need to keep charging ahead. We can't just get stuck, because in the previous messages, I've always gotten the message of there's something good that's coming, and they're leading us to it. We just need to get there. And this card is now telling us, keep charging ahead. Don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. So they're going to, the universe, the spirits, the angels, they're going to make things happen. We have to be the light workers. We have to make it happen for ourselves, and we need to spread that light and the miraculous solutions to everyone else. I mean, ultimately, it is up to us, but they're going to make the solutions appear, and it will be up to us to make it happen. Now, I'm just going to take this deck of cards and just look at the very bottom card, and and the card that was at the bottom of the deck it's perfect. It's the Grace and Antoinette card. How do you like that? That's a good follow-up to this. To help heal the situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. That is definitely something we need in this world. We need everyone to work together. We need to see each other, people on different sides of aisles, or, and it's all around. It's men, women, it's political divides, it's us, them. Everyone needs to see the other person's point of view with compassion, and then accept the miraculous solutions that appear, that will come forth. And going all the way back to those first cards, we need to follow that guidance from the spirits and angels, because they're leading us to the better place. They're leading the world for us and the animals. All the creatures on the planet are going to be better off as a result. I mean, this is the perfect message of we need to stop dividing ourselves. And actually, the thought that's coming to mind right now is we need to stop letting people divide us. We need to see the other person's point of view with compassion, and it will heal the situation. You can't heal the situation if you keep labeling people and you keep fighting back and forth. Wow, what a great set of messages for a new Cosmic Readings and Messages World Events Update for September 14th, 2022. Over a year since the last one. Wow. All right, I am going to wrap this up. I do thank everybody for listening, watching. I see I picked up some more subscribers over the past year when I wasn't even posting anything. So hopefully some people will watch and get this update and spread the light and the love and stop dividing. And no matter what side of any conversation or argument you're on, see the other person's point of view with compassion. And this is good for everybody. And the miracles will come through. Miraculous solutions will appear. That's so many different phrases that came through tonight that are just so appropriate. So thank you, spirits and angels, for coming through tonight and giving me a nice little story to tell. And the cards that came forth, when I first looked at some of them, I was like, okay, how does this fit the story? And then spirits and angels just came forth and put it all together. I love when they do that. Watch some of my previous messages from last year. Maybe eventually I will get back to maybe doing regular readings with the astrological signs, even though I don't follow astrology. If I do those, I just use the signs for categorization purposes because everybody knows their signs. But I sort of got wrapped up in this whole world events, the pandemic and all that kind of stuff, and over the last couple of years. And then I had this big break. So because the spirits and angels wanted me to do that. I mean, that's what this whole thing is about. I'm just doing it because they are there. They have the messages for us. Sometimes I do need a break from it. And in this case, it was over a year between the last one and now. But very, very good message. Nothing to be truly concerned about. There was, I didn't ask anything about the wars, but I think, once we start doing a lot of things on a more positive level, I think what will happen is, and the miraculous solutions will appear, which is, again comes through. Things will improve on a global scale. Once we stop dividing ourselves and allowing others to divide us. And it doesn't matter who it is, because it's on every side of every coin, there's this side and that side, and there's the opposition. And everybody says on either side, oh, it's their fault, it's us, it's them. But you go to the other side, and it's us, and it's them. And once we stop doing that, and we stop condemning people for being opposite or disagreeing, and just listen to both sides, listen to ourselves, listen to the other side, and have compassion for other people's opinions, because we're all sharing this world, and with the animals too. We need to work together. We can have our differences. We can have differences of opinion. We can have differences of how we want to do things, beliefs. But when we respect each other, and when we listen to each other, and instead of name calling and bullying and putting people down and making ourselves superior or feeling superior because we think we're right or the other person's wrong. Once you get away from that and you have compassion, because there's a lot of people in the world who say they are compassionate, they say they are righteous, and they just turn right around and they're just the meanest, nastiest people. And they don't even see it. Like they actually believe like they're being righteous by calling someone else a name. And where does that get anybody? It doesn't get anybody anywhere. So it just keeps the division and hate, and it's just something that needs to stop. And that's what the spirits and angels are saying. And again, it's up to us. We have to all collectively start saying, no, we're not going to follow anybody who tells us these things. We're not going to listen to anybody who tells us that, us, that we're better than them, unless you're doing something really wrong. I mean, obviously, if you have people that are doing wrong and harming people either directly or indirectly, then you have to stand up and say, no, that's not right. We have laws, we have our rules, we have our code of conducts for a reason. You don't go around hurting people and labeling people and bullying people. And again, it comes back to that. It comes back to, we all need to work together. And then once you start becoming more compassionate with each other, it just works out better for everyone. Anyway, I'm beginning to repeat myself, which means I'm getting tired, and the spirits and angels are not coming up with anything new, like they're not giving me any other thoughts. And I've already put the cards away in the box, so I am not going to pull any more out, because I see this reading has gone on for just about an hour. It's 56 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up. Again, I thank everybody for watching and listening. Whether you pray or you're spiritual or anything like that, just remember the messages that came through tonight or when you watch this video, and keep those things in mind, and be the light worker. If you see someone else being divisive and mean and making someone else unhappy, speak up and say, no, that's not right. You have no right to say something like that or do something like that towards somebody else, because you're sharing the planet with that person. Listen to them. Everybody has their own story. Heck, I have my own story. I'm a science person. I should not even be doing these cosmic readings and messages, but I'm doing them because I'm compelled to, because there is something else out there. There's other dimensions. There's other things that maybe I can't hold in my hand or show somebody and say, here's a mathematical formula or something, but it's there. And so, these are, things that we have to think about. We have to listen to everybody, and everybody has a valued opinion, because they're living their own life, and, we're sharing this world with everyone. Whether you believe or not believe, or you're into science or not, or anything like that. So we have to keep all of these things in mind. Okay, on that note, I am going to wrap up this video for real. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel or you're seeing this for the first time, you can watch some of my previous videos. If you want to subscribe, smash the button or whatever, you can do all that kind of stuff. But I do thank everybody for listening to this new Cosmic Readings and Messages for the early morning of September 14th, 2022. Thanks for watching. And may peace, love, and harmony be with you. My light is with you. For those of you that need to hear it, I say namaste. I honor the light in you as well. Thanks for watching.